welcome to the slowest TR4 rebuild channel. I've owned this car for too many years, and it's spent too many years not being rebuilt. I drove it for a few years, had a few problems, we had a recession, moved house, my wife was unwell, and I tried to get somebody to rebuild it and it all went a bit wrong. So I'm left with a few mistakes, and I've got to correct as many of those mistakes as I can on virtually no budget and put this car back together from boxes which are all over the sheds, in the loft, etc. So we're going to put this car back together. We're on the way. I also bought a green TR4, and that one also needs to be at least put back together to the point that it's a complete car and running, and somebody else can finish off the rebuild. That needs a full body off rebuild, welding, etc. But my concentration is to get the blue one actually back on the road, taxed in a year. Let's get started by uncovering it and walking around it. Hope you enjoy it. Walk around. So there she is. She's in the Delft blue. She's suffered a bit over the years. The paintwork's got some real issues. It suffered basically because of it was contaminated when it was sprayed. Now that was 15 years ago this was sprayed. Wire wheels on it. Come round in the boot, probably got the jack. Got petrol tanks not in, wiring. That hinge has come undone for some reason. Okay. Right, apologise for the camera work. Right, come around this side. Got the hood frame on. Right, so just bear with me, I need to put this down there for a moment. Let's see if I can get this engine up. Radiator. Bonnet pop in, temporary bonnet pop. Locked. So we've got a brake master, starter motors down there. It's just suffered from time. I mean, you just see those short tools were clean and shiny when I put them in there. I have to wash that T-top. Oh, I've got a can of WD-40. I did another one. Wow. Well, that's where we are. So I'm going to sit, and I've got no joint on the steering, so I need to find a steering joint if I want to be able to steer this. Anyway, that's where we are, 2022. Just to say, you know, this project is on the move, and if we just come round here. Because we have a sold from. So that's it. 2 Triumphs, Skoda Yaris, my mini tool shed. I'll spin you around. The rest of the TR4 is in these boxes. I'll show you a little video. Some of the stuff I found yesterday. I got a front bumper which I had re-chromed. I mean, you can see it's re-tarnished, but it'll polish up. Bit of full zeros wire will. I'm going to go for running, working TR4. That's the project. So this is my mini shed. Very, very useful wheelbarrow conversion into a sack trolley. Right, I've got about 4 weeks, the bonnet and everything, 4 weeks to pack up. The bonnet are all in for the green one are in the other shed. The green one is a bit more of a sad project. It got into front and rear shunt, quite minor, but everything needs to come out. The chassis is also pretty rotten, so, but it's got a Surrey top and Surrey backlight. Well, a Surrey top, the fabric Surrey top, and it's got a backlight. I might just get this project to do a complete car and let somebody else restore it. So I want to put all the bits on that I need, get it to run, because it did run when we bought it, although not very well, but it was pouring petrol all over the floor. As you can see, these tyres, I mean, you know, they do hold air. I mean, just these tyres, brand new. Looking for the date stamp. Did they even have date stamps in? 5th month of 05? Sounds about right. The tyres are 17 years old and brand new. Anyway, that was a bit of a nightmare because I didn't actually want to put new tyres. And then you rebuilt the bloody thing, and look at the weights he put on them to balance it out. I mean, they look awful. Anyway, he didn't true the wheel up. He put tyres on when I wanted just to run around on do all the respray work, and put new tyres on when the car was finished. But anyway, it all went wrong. And if we look downwards, so that spinner is sticking out, barely just sticking out. To go around the other side, and this one's out nearly 2 inches, and that's because he put the chassis on skronky. So I've got to remove the chassis bolts. There. Move the car straight, and only then I can have to re-drill the bolts for the chassis to make the car straight again, which has got to be done. So anyway, this was just to help the rain pour off, because it was puddling on the spars of the roof. Anyway, right, that's enough for this video. This project will conclude in a new location, and you're going to be excited about the new location because it's going to be brilliant. So keep watching, click subscribe, and this 25-year project might actually come to a conclusion one day. Thank you. So you've seen the car. Now we're going to go into the mini shed, which is full of crates of parts, and we'll dig through those parts, see if we can recognise a few bits, see what else we got. I also bought a few spares to do the green TR4, so I bought a job lot of panels, like a bonnet and a boot lid, and there was there was quite a lot of a TR4A in there, so we'll dig through those parts and then we'll go through the other two sheds. parts. We've got headlights, we've got bonnet catches, we've got bits of hose, exhaust strap, I think. There must be boot catch, bonnet stop. I'm not sure of that one. Brake parts. Have a look at it. Oh, seatbelt set. Wow. I haven't been in these boxes for 15-ish years. What have we got there? Brand new headlight tails. Luxury. I say door handles, you know, that's a best set tail light, best tail lights. Well, that's not what's in the box. Okay. We've got where did they go? Okay. They're all come out. We've got an ashtray, we've got the brake, beautifully powder coated. And we've got the, what's the word for it? Controller box for the dynamo. Yeah. Just a little peek. Air duct, carburetor, headlamp bowl. There's a bracket. Do they go under the steering, or is it the probably the steering column, under the steering column? That might be the glove box. Bumper bracket, that one's been adapted, it's got a washer at the end. More bumper brackets. That's carburetor off of Bop. And if we come over, this is the carburetor off the green TR. It's split, it needs reassembly. What we got? That's thermostat housing, petrol cap, filler cap. That's a fairly bad headlamp bulb. Some of these came from bought used from another in a job lot. That's fuel pump. What we got here? We got our temperature gauge. I think that a bit of 4 zeros wire wool, that'll clean up. Clutch, probably a clutch master. It could be brake. What's this gauge? Oh, that's not Triumph. That's off of Mini, I think. It's different. Oh, it's Jaguar. Yeah, I think that was a Smith's. Yeah. A critical brake pipe hose or something. Like that. Okay, I'll have to work that one out. It's greasy. No, don't know. Open up this box, there's all treasures. There's the parts off of the dynamo, bonnet catch, there's some brake pads. They're only 34 years old. A few parts from other side are down there that we found. Treasure trove, door latches. I think they're eBay specials. Left hand door handle, door latch. I think it's Triumph, it may not be. Yeah. So, yeah, treasure trove in there. Dynamo adjuster bracket. We got over there, we got a couple of tubes for the engine bay. That one's okay. If I remember rightly, this one came from the green Triumph, and there's a little bit of a kink in that. Okay, they're fundamentally okay, but and then there's a steering, unrestored steering column that might be useful. It's a bit crusty, but wire brush it, it might be okay. Anyway, keep delving. Right, so we go to the top shed, and that's in there, the bonnet, the boot lid, and a few other parts. Let's go and have a good look, see what we can find. So if we come into the shed, we have TR4 bonnet, and if I light up, it's got a good old ding in the bonnet there. It looks like there's been dropped on that. But it's not a bad bonnet, it's pretty solid. A little bit of damage on there. We've got a couple of TR4A wings with a fair bit of filler on them, but they're not rusty as such. We've got some bumpers in various states. That's pretty good. It's got patina as opposed to rust. That one's got a good old ding in it, but they're, you know, usable bumpers. Actually, a couple of these bumpers might actually be for a GT6. Now we've got a couple of bumpers wrapped up in chrome here. I'm not sure that's TR4. I think that's the GT6 one. Now these have been wrapped up. I mean, I don't know if you can catch that date on the newspaper. The Mail on Sunday, February 22nd, 2004. Parts are wing bead set, TR4/5, all in its tube. We've got another wing there, so there's 3 wings there. We go, my magnet's stuck. We've got a dash there. That's a door, bit slightly bumped, so the least exhaust system with the label on it, and we've got a boot lid. So, yep, and then we delve to the back of the shed. We've got a dash, the accelerator pedal assembly, and we've got 3 grills, and we've got a capping for the windscreen. Yeah, so I mean, it's got a load of spray foam, overspray from the spray foam, but that should polish off with wool with 4 zeros. And then over here we have a fairly heavy box, and that's got brake caliper. I'm sure there's another one exactly the same. And then down at the bottom there's another grey crate. You just see under there, there's a grey crate, and that's a thing that's got more TR4 parts in. So I think I'll turn the camera off for a moment and we'll dig that out. Right. Right, let's get in. We've got another box of goodies. So what we have in here, push rod followers. Okay, cam followers, that's the word. I'm not exactly sure where they've come from. Now I think that might be, I'm not sure about that one. Clearly we've got a TR4 handbrake here. We'll get that light out here. Shut eyes. Those UJs, are they off the steering or are they off the 4A? There's a couple of engine mounts. It's not a better way of finding it. This light. We got some brakes, brand new one-sided brakes. In the bottom of the box there's a lot of rusty old bolts, but they look like they're Imperial threads. I've also got really random things in here that shouldn't be. So I've got the top of my exhaust. I wonder where that was. A modified bracket. I have no idea. That probably goes under one of the steering column. We've got some nice chrome bezels. Another steering column bracket or similar. Anyway, we'll work it out. Anyway, it'll be fine. And inside this bag is a good old, assuming it's Lucas, windscreen wiper motor. It won't come out. Come on, windscreen wiper motor. Now, I probably bought that on eBay to store up, knowing me. It was a long time ago, and we've got the short battery cable, and there's an earth cable in here somewhere as well. But lots of useful bolts which probably needed somewhere. We'll work it out. One spring from the seat. Is it from mine, or was this a box of parts I bought from someone else? Might have been a box of parts. It also came with it a good old steering wheel over here. Touch the screen, I can see what I'm showing you. These are just other old random shed stuff in here. Nice old plain set of trolley wheels. Don't know what I built them for. Got that stuff for part one of my projects. Anyway, we will endeavour and put this all back together somehow. Thanks for watching. Right, let's get in and have a look. We have another two boxes I hadn't found. So this is all headlamp bowls with headlights. It just looks dirty, to be honest. They're all lipless headlights. There's a bumper bracket, I don't know whether it's front or rear. Plastic indicator cowl, and we got a plastic horn. So that's not really the ones I want. But I think it's radio valve. What on earth is that doing in there? Right, a very dubious hose. This is in one piece, it's flexible, but that's a fair. Sorry, I'm doing an awful job of the lighting. How can I hold that up there? I don't know. Any answers on a postcard? Run our hands. Right, that's better. We've got a bent, and the light's just gone out. Must be need charging. Put a bit, another push, see if it comes on. Yeah. Right, we've got a bent bracket. I can't remember where that one. Radiator tie rod. I'm guessing. Water bottle, washer bottle. So we got a crusty old clutch slave. We've got a master cylinder, presumably clutch, I don't know. Yes, and that's a heater. And that's the vent flap off there. Now that's red, so that will have come from the TR4A, I'd imagine. Got no lock in it, rusty bracket, but yeah. Okay. Right, I think this battery's about to go. No, it's still going. Right, okay, just tap the screen to wake it back. I have to change the setting on that so it stays on longer. Oh, door locks. left and right door locks. That'd be useful. That's the side off the heater. Oh, so this has been disassembled. There's a heat assembly. There's the side. Oh, that's another handbrake. That's much shorter. That's not my chrome one from my. Sorry, that's not the chrome one off my TR4. Interesting. That could come from anywhere. These are obviously spares. I think I picked up a bundle of spares in Norfolk, and that would be off the red TR4A, I imagine, which seems to have been broken. I wanted some specific parts, especially a boot lid. Anyway, I think that's a nice little box of treasure trove. I can't get the heater out without two hands, so I'll leave that for later. So yeah, good little box. Right, so we will investigate further once we can be moved. But all these parts, I'll put all the parts together for the green TR4 and the blue TR4, and whatever's available left I will make sure it's available to keep the mark running. Thank you very much. And now we're going to head down to the bottom shed and see what we can find in there. I think let's just go and have a look. Let's see what we can find. Now entering the shed, the other shed. Right, this is mostly paint and things like that. We've got a complete set of old carpets from the TR4, which are absolutely rotten, but only keeping them because we had to cut any panels. We've got a pretty bashed up front valance, upper and lower. I was going to practice my metal hammering skills, whether that's a wise thing, but got nothing to really lose. So that's really all the Triumph parts that we've got in here. All the rest has been moved up. Oh, of course we got the we're now around there. We've got the tunnel, the gearbox bridge with the choke, the heater, and the steering adjustment switch. Yeah, forgot about that. Oh, that's something else to do. Right. So there we have it. One part I forgot to mention was we're in the process of moving, and the whole point of moving is to get a house where we live well, and also I can have a workshop and a garage and restore the TR4s, and this needs to be done. These two cars need to be put back together and need to be, certainly the blue one needs to be registered and on the road within a year. The green TR4, I can't do all this accident damage, so I'm debating whether I will actually fix it myself, but I want to make it a complete car, at least so somebody else can restore it. So let's get all the parts together, get both cars running. I get the blue car restored and running and on the road, and we'll see what we do with the green TR4.